Hey, hi, Miss Raji here. I'm so excited to take today's lesson. It is about exponential functions. So, if you're taking Math 1 or Algebra 1, this is part of your syllabus. So, Discovery Math 1 syllabus, it's Unit 8, 8.1, Investigation, I'm going to talk about today. So, exponential functions, things are going exponentially. That is the whole idea. So, it's like going like it's like boom, 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 it's going, bacteria's growth. It's going like exponentially. So let us explore more about this using the study material, Discovery Math. Okay. So again, if you're a Math 1 student, especially Lammersville Unified, ninth grade or even 8th grade, you'll be seeing this lesson as part of your discovery. So you can see in the top here, concept 8.1, represent exponential function. So this investigation one is based on something we already learned in the engage, but don't worry about that. I'll give you a little bit, background information here. So think about you're taking some medication for anything, okay? So how your body is going to process it? So the body is going to process it by filtering. The kidney will filter the medication out of your system. That's why we'll say like, don't take medication like together. Like we need to give a gap like 4 hours. Why this 4 hours or 6 hours? The body is going to, our kidney system will filter the medicine out of your body because otherwise we'll be overdosed, right? So that is the whole background information. Okay. So if you're taking a medication, the kidney is going to filter the medication out of your system. Think like that. We are putting math into it. So in this particular filtering medication, we already saw that in the engage 20%. 20% is filtered out in every hour, I think. Yeah. So it's going like hour. So 100% medication in the body. So first you need to know like how to read this graph, right? So 100%, then the first hour, 20% gone. So 20% of 100 is 20. So in the first hour, there is only 80. So if I am making like a, what is it, like a coordinate thing, coordinates. So the beginning, 0, right? The intercept. Remember, y equal to mx plus b is the intercept. Your intercept is 100. Always I want to bring you back to your linear form. So if you are thinking about a linear form, it is your B. But this is not linear. Why? Because, see, this is what is happening. In 1 is 80. You totally understand why it is 80? Because the body filtered out 20. So I'll show you here what is happening is, so I'll go like really simple steps here. What is the 20% of 100? If you really want to do like this way, that is fine too. So because you need to go back to your basics. So 20. Then the remaining is 100 minus 20. That's why they got that 80 there. Okay. Now, the problem is the next one is not 20 is going. Because now the 20% of 80 is going to be filtered. Okay. So look at this, the change. So when you do this calculation, you're not taking the 20% of 80. Okay. That is only 16. So the remaining is 80 minus 16, not 20. That's why this is not a linear function. Because see, the change is not, the slope is not the same. So when it comes to 2, it is going to get into 64. Okay. So that is the amount you are seeing here. So that is how you read this, 64. Now you have to find out the 20% of 64, which is like going to get some decimals and all. So 20% of 64 is 12.8. So you subtract 12.8 from 64, you will get the next value. So that's how you build that. 64 minus 12.8. So that will be 64 minus 12 will be 52, 52, 51.8. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. You can just check it. Okay, so that's how this is going to go. Yeah. So when it is 3, right? 3 is like, that's what you're seeing here, 51.8. Okay. So first you should know how to read the graph. Okay, perfect. After that, let us get into the next things. So demonstration, domain and range. Going back to your domain. Domain means the x values. Range means the y values. What is the domain and range for this function? Domain and range. So domain, real numbers, positive real numbers, non-negative real numbers, whole numbers 0 through 24. What do you think? What is the answer? Domain must be, because look at that. You cannot go to negative, right? So it's positive. Positive real numbers or non-negative real numbers. What is the range? What's the range? Where the range is going? Range is the where it is starting. Highest value for the range is 100 and it is going down, right? Yeah. So you to think like that. So the range is non-negative real numbers less than or equal to. Isn't it the same thing? So let me just show you the answer key here. So domain is the non-negative real numbers. Then range is the non-negative real numbers less than or equal to 100. Okay. You can pick those two. Let me just go to the next ones. I'm just going with the discovery answers. So these are the two answers for them. Okay. Let us check the second question. Interpret the y-intercept. What do you think? How do you interpret the y-intercept? I'm just keeping this writing there because we may need to use it for future. So what is the y-intercept? What does it represent? It's the beginning, right? In the starting point, the beginning, how much medication is there, right? I can just show you their answer also. So that makes you like. The y-intercept is 100. It represents the amount of medication in milligrams in the body when the initial dose is taken. So, that's 100. The y-intercept is 100. The amount of medication in milligrams in the body when it is absorbed. So that is the concept there. Okay. So we can write it down. Let us go to the next concept. Okay. So there are some real world situation scenarios they are explaining there. So you know what? Real world situations, what is happening? It cannot be negative, right? Yeah. So it will be always positive, and it can be decimals also, because it can come like, it's a continuous function. So it can come like all the decimal values also. You will learn all about that later, don't worry. I really want to explain to you guys how to represent this thing, because this thing can be always confusing the way you write domain, inequality way, and the what is it called, brackets and parentheses and all. Let me clean it. It looks really bad for me, so I'm going to clean this because I don't like that. Let me see how I can do that. Yeah. So, yeah, because I really want to show you like in a positive way. Okay, so look at this one. Inequality lines, right? So I want to tell you something. Whenever you have this and a line, you will use the closed one. Just think like that. Okay. And same thing with this also. The whole clue is that equal sign. Okay. If it is just a less or greater, you will only use the parenthesis. we'll call it parentheses and brackets and all, right? Yeah. So you can see this. So when you are translating this to here, you need to write it as -4. Let me help you with this. -4. Oh, sorry. -4 is in there. And you're going all the way to 12, right? 12. So 12 is a parenthesis. Why? Because there is no equal sign there. Okay. So because of this, I use that. So how do you write this down? So you start with 0. 0 is just the x value. The domain is in between 0. But since there is a bracket there, you have to put less than or equal to. Get it? So ym then 22. So this means the domain value is in between 0 and 22, and 22 is also included. So don't get confused. This is not your x and y. This is not your coordinates. Okay, this is just a way of writing the domain, interval notation. So this is the interval, compound inequality or interval notation. So this is the interval notation. This is not xy. So how do you write the next one? Think about all that. And there is because x is less than or equal to -3. So x is less than or equal to negative means always for the negative infinity. Infinities, you only use parentheses, okay? Not the bracket. So whenever infinity comes, you use parentheses, negative infinity, positive infinity, okay? So when I am converting this, this can be from all the way to -3, but -3 is not included because there is no equal sign. Union, okay, union means this and this or and means intersect ideas. So this is the union sign. So it can be less than -3. It's a little bit confusing. Watch carefully. X can be less than -3 or X can be greater than 7. So how do you write that part? 7 going all the way to positive infinity and closing with a parenthesis there. We need loads of practice for this. So we will do that later, but right now just write it down, okay? How do you set up this thingy? Just the same way. So you can say x is less than a. Watch out. This is a bracket, right? So I'm going to put less than or equal to 2. Because the 2 I got from here. Then I had to write or x is greater than or equal to 6. I got that from here. So if I think about an x-axis here, my situation is like this. If I have 2 here, so my data is going from, my x values are going from this to this, anywhere to negative infinity, because this is the negative infinity part, right? That's why it says negative infinity to 2. Then we have a break. We are going all the way to 6. Then from 6, we are going all the way to positive infinity. This is the whole idea of math. Writing the interval notation is strictly needed for the next upcoming years, like math 2, math 3, calculus, everywhere this interval notation. And I have seen tons of students still have confusion about this interval notation. So be very careful about it. Try it properly, learn it properly. Okay. I'll come up with the video next video, because this is too much. I don't want you guys to suffer so much, just learn this properly. Okay. So see you in the next video.